You are now listening to the sounds of Dr. B's Spot, a production of Bowden Enterprise Services, LLC. Join the podcast where love and life topics are discussed surrounding spiritual connection, relationships, finance, and becoming a better you through elevation. And now, here's your host, spiritual advisor and behavioral health clinician, Dr. B.
Welcome back to another episode of Dr. B's Spot, Love and Life. I'm your host, your spiritualist, your therapist, Dr. B. We are back in business and back in action. Thank you for tuning in once again and listening to my content. It's much appreciated. Today's topic of the moment is called Limited Thinking and the Blocks of Association. Your mind is very powerful, right? It can lead you to a life of what you desire for yourself or lead you to a path of self-destruction. It's by design that we have choices and paths that we must take. How does your brain construct the deciding factor that you're in an abusive relationship and you're going to leave that person? But hold on. Let's ask the question on how did you get there in the first place and allow it to start and then continue letting it happen to you. Well, let's reach all the way back to the beginning cycles in order to move forward. I'm saying these things not to go too deep, but to touch on points to make you seek in-depth meaning. I'm unwrapping triggers and pressure points. I'm unraveling your comfortability to make you uncomfortable. I'm disturbing your complacency you have within. See, every now and then, we may need to shake up our checkpoints. These are just thought-provoking questions. After all, in order to move forward, you do have to look back. Let's look forward now, at this moment. Let's look into a few more scenarios. Let's say you always wanted to attend college and you never had the opportunity to attend. Question: why is that? So you may say it was a financial decision and you didn't have the funds. So I then say, well, there's grants, there's scholarships, there's financial aid. So what's your excuse? Then you may say, well, I had a family I had to raise. I was so inundated with taking care of and raising my family that when I would say I wanted to take this opportunity and make it happen for myself, those things was in play. And I just couldn't make that happen. Then I would say about the online classes and the flexibility of schedules now and how they have accelerated classes in person even. And it's just specifically for working adults, including those that do have children. It's an accommodation for you now. So what's your excuse? Let's look at another scenario. You always wanted to be rich and famous. This could be through athletics, acting, singing, dancing, artistry, designing, directing, producing, writing, whatever, etc. What steps and measures did you actually take to get there? Inquiring minds do want to know. Was this dream only a figment of your imagination? Did any effort go into the wishes? Because the genie, unfortunately, will not be popping out of the lamp granting you a single one. So realistically, did you set a plan and execute the goal? Many of you haven't attempted to execute the wish. So for some, they've been waiting 10, 20, 30 years. And this wish pawn is only left in your brain. So why are you sitting on your talents and dreams like it was over before it even began? I have another scenario. I heard so many times and times again these particular words. I'm starting a business. I want to start a business. That one sentence ends right there. Your business starts within you. Whatever work that you diligently put out in the universe comes back your way. Your goal is the fruit of your labor. I don't think you heard me. You're missing the point. I said your goal is the fruit of your labor. In other words, if you don't work, you don't eat. Simple as that. A business takes time to cultivate. There's ups and downs, restructuring to keep up the changing times. You work more hours in your business than you do a regular 9 to 5. Hopping into something because everyone else is doing it or it sounds good is detrimental to your failure without understanding the ins and outs of what you're getting into and what it'll take to sustain all the moving parts. But for those that say they always wanted to start a business, why didn't you do it and put it into action? If you can read, then the answers to all your questions is in the books and online and even phone calls you can make. There is no excuse to leave your dreams deferred. Let's just take the accountability for our own actions. We're not here to play the blame game or point the finger antics, except that finger has to be redirected to point at self and no one else. This is what limited thinking and the blocks of association are all about. Many times we can block our own blessings by thinking we have it all figured out and we are okay, or think that we're just okay. When we internally, we want more for ourselves. But if you achieve the highest dream and you have breath left in your body, there is more to achieve. There's more desire to further heights. After you make a dream come true, it's human nature to want to tackle the next goal. So why are you okay pretending to be complacent where you are? I've always tried to place myself among people who were more knowledgeable than I, people who went through some things, so that I wouldn't have to learn the hard way. I paid attention to the elders, to the people whom I could learn lessons from. I learned lessons from their wisdom of mistakes and or wins. That gives us the navigation tools for the obstacle course. So make sure you surround yourself around greatness. So let me ask, why haven't you taken the necessary steps to remove the blocks of association? In some instances, removal of self from certain people or surroundings are uplifting to your creativity and your personal thought space. Sometimes moments of silence is where brilliance happens. Those brilliant thoughts are made in silence. I've done this many times and continue to do so with meditation and spirituality. How you know you have reached higher favor is when you notice people from different walks that want to disrupt your peace and disturb the high of your visions. Those people will be the ones to bring negativity your way, gossip, looking for handouts, drain you of your energy with nothing in return to fill you back up. People want to be in the midst of greatness, remember this. But be mindful of the company you keep. They may not want you far from reach because you have something they want. So protect yourself at all costs, mentally and spiritually. People want to feed off of what they cannot have. Remember, it's up to you to dictate your future. Fly high. Stay mindful of those that lurk and seek they seek you as prey. So in return, you pray against the negativity and be mindful of the gifts that you have. Do not sit on them for long. Use them as power above that the high has given us. Stay blessed and stay with love.
Join us next time at Dr. B's Spot, where we dive into the real deal of love and life by tapping into your body, mind, and spirit. Don't forget to like, rate, and comment on each podcast that we drop. For all upcoming shows, reach Dr. B and all she has to offer on BowdenEnterprise.com and social media outlets under the moniker Bowden Enterprise Services. Peace and blessings to you and yours. We are out.